What an honor. Hey, here's my boots. Nothing wrong with a great pair of cowboy boots, even for a California girl. I so have loved being with you today. I feel like we've been able to be ourselves. We've been able to be beautiful, be powerful, be wise, be wonderful, be all the things that God has called us to be. I was speaking many years ago at a church up in Oregon, and I was very tired. And I felt like the Lord had told me to just lay down and take a nap. And so I was preparing to speak, and I was thinking, I need to have something to say about your goodness and your glory, and I got to work on this message. And the Lord was like, why don't you just take a nap? And so I laid my head down on the couch, and he ushered me into a giant meadow. As soon as I closed my eyes, there was this huge meadow. And it went as far in the distance as I could see. There were mountains in the distance. And coming towards me was Jesus. And he was strong, and he was robust, and he was a man, and he was coming towards me, and he was the first one I saw and the only one I saw, and he was so big, and his face was so kind. And he lifted me up onto his shoulders, as he's done with many of you today. And he held me on his shoulders, and I felt so held, and I felt so loved, and I could see so far, all the way in the distance. And Jesus knows me, and he knows that I love the temple. He knows that, like, I love the temple of God. I love the church. I love the kingdom. And he says to me, do you want to go see the temple? And I was like, yes, I do, Lord, yes. And the slideshow changes slides, and suddenly he's not a man anymore, but he's like this pulsing presence in the center, like the lamb at the center. And we were all around him. There was no man, no woman, no slave, no free, no black, no white, no size 4, no size 14. We were all like this, and we all wore these robes, and we were just praising him and praising him. And everybody's hands were like this. And Jesus is so funny. From the center of the temple, and this pulsing presence at the very, very center. I saw it in black and white. Someday we're going to get to see it in all its color. But he comes out of the center, the lamb at the center, and back as a man. And he looks at me and he winks and he goes. And I'm like he's like saying, like, isn't it awesome? And I'm like, it's so awesome. It's so awesome. And there was fullness of joy, and it was a time in my life where there was so much pain and so much suffering, and so many trials and so many tears in our family and so many broken hearts. And he says that now the dwelling of God will be with men, and he will live with them, and they will be his people, and God himself will be with them and be their God, and he will wipe every tear from their eyes. He's gonna wipe every tear from your eyes. He's gonna heal every pain in your heart, everything that is broken, everything that is dead, everything that is lost, everything that feels like it's not enough is going to be more than enough. And you are going to be filled with the fullness of joy. And suddenly the slideshow changed slides. And I was at like a bunkhouse. And the Lord, I love a sleepover. I love a sleepover. Like, I'm excited I get to sleep over and like be here tomorrow, and I'm gonna get to see some of you at church. Like, I love a sleepover. And so the Lord knows everything you love. And so I wake up, and I love coffee. And Jesus brings me a cup of coffee in the morning. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so sweet of him. And we're all gathered around, and he has this he pulls out this giant book of stories, and it says Book of Stories. And he opens it up, and we all lean in, and he tells us a story. Your eyes will see the King in all of his beauty, and you will see a land that stretches afar. And he will wipe every tear from your eyes, and he will heal every piece of brokenness that is in your heart. And you will see him there. But first you have to press through the crowd. First you have to reach for his robe. First you have to receive the gift. And here's the invitation. He says, behold, I'm coming soon. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last, the beginning and the end. And he goes on, he says, blessed. That was our last thing. You are blessed. Blessed are those who wash their robes. That means you wash your robe in the blood of Christ, that you have the right to eat from the tree of life. And he says, I, Jesus, have sent my angel to give you this testimony for the churches. I am the root and the offspring of David, the bright morning star. And I invite you to be a part of my bride. And it's an invitation, and it's a gift. And it takes you leaning in and pressing in through the crowd, reaching for his robe and breaking out your oil. We're going to give you an opportunity this afternoon to come forward. You know, when I woke up from that dream, from that vision, and with my cheeks stuck to the couch, I was like, I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back to this broken, messed up world and this broken, messed up family and this broken, messed up mess. I want to go and be with you. But he has called you here in this broken, messed up world for such a time as this. So we want you to receive the gift of your identity in Christ. It's a gift. You receive it. You can refuse it. That's okay. It's your right. You have free will. He made you that way. Or you can come forward this afternoon, and they're going to guide you as well through this activity to come forward and to receive your beauty and your value and your identity and your purpose in Christ. And girlfriend, if you do that, if you get real with God and you get out all your mess right here at the altar and you confess, you wash your robe in the blood of the Lamb, his forgiveness, his freedom from shame, it is yours. It is yours. It's a free gift.